Hey, you mob. This is Bart. Welcome. Come and join us.
Hey Mob, Lauren here from IAP, coming in from beautiful Wujak country over in WA, where the IAP team is spending the week at the National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Eye Health Conference. This year marks the 9th iteration of the conference. It's a landmark year because it's the first year that the conference is completely community controlled and run. We're joined here by over 200 delegates from across the country, all coming together to support each other and share yarns about their successes in the eye health space. Stay tuned for some deadly yarns with some of the delegates and IAP partners.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a Gungari woman, but I'm currently living on Walgarukabar and Bindle land up in Townsville, and I'm a fourth year medical student at James Cook University. I first had my interest in eyes. It's part of my grandmother's story, and so she has a strong connection to eyes as well, and being part of like experiment surgeries in the past. So that was my first calling to eyes. And then the more that I've worked in it, the more that I realized like the amazing impact that you can do in just 24 hours and the impact you can make in the culture and the community in just 24 hours. And I think that's amazing. And I think to improve the pathways, I think it's just getting us mob in there and seeing someone that we can follow and having mentorship. I think that's a big thing for me, is like having people like Chris that we can speak to, and Hannah who's on the training pathway that we can speak to. I think that's like a huge part of it as well. And just supporting us in our journey in ways like sponsorship. Placements are expensive and it gets quite hard, so that would be my recommendations, and thanks for having a chat.
Hello, my name's Cassady. I'm a Nagi man, got blood ties with the Cook Isle and the Malay Nations and Torres Strait. I'm currently a PGY 1 doing my internship on Kalkul land in Mount Isa, and my exposure to eyes, 2009 I was subject to an eye gouge that detached my retina, and thankfully Dr. Brian Todd picked it up and flew me down to Brisbane for surgery. So thanks to him I have a bit of vision in the eye, and kind of what I want seeing forward is there's not a lot of exposure to ophthalmology as a medical student, and specifically speaking from UQ, we only get 2 weeks exposure through the 4-year degree. I just think anyone who is interested, just to increase the exposure, especially for medical students, so that we have a lot more interest than what we currently do, and it would be really good to kind of tailor that interest and that exposure to a lot of the Indigenous medical students as well. But yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Hassan Sam. I'm a Bulgaman man from Palm Island with ties to Erub up in the Torres Straits, and Cloncurry out with the Kalkarin people out there. I'm currently in my last year of medical school at JCU up in Cairns at the moment. Interest in eyes sort of peaked back when we first touched on them, I believe, in second year. Just the intricacies of the eyes and how complex the little organs are sort of sparked interest within me. And then that was sort of further, I guess, the burning desire to learn about eyes sort of sparked even more. I had a 12-month leave of absence, and during that time worked as an ophthalmology assistant with Dr. Brian Todd and Andrew Field up at Cairns Eye Surgery for 12 months. And during that time, again, further learning about the eyes, the intricacies, and how delicate these little organs are and how vital they are for everyday life. Again, further increase the interest and the desire to learn about them and how we can sort of look after them going forward into the future, not only for us and what we're doing, but again, also for the younger generation, pass on information to all of our five senses of sight. So increasing pathways, I believe, again, just exposure to eyes throughout medical school, it's not overly taught as much as, I guess, other organ systems are. However, I think, again, just that increased exposure to the eyes themselves could definitely increase pathways into learning about them and going from there.
Hi, my name's Dr. Thomas Milne. I'm a proud Gungaloo man from Central Queensland, and I'm a second year ophthalmology trainee in the Victorian network at the Royal Victorian Eye and Ear Hospital at the moment. I'm proudly appointed to a board director for the First Nations Eye Health Alliance as of this year, and I'm very excited to see where the Alliance will take eye health in the First Nations space, and incredibly proud to be contributing to that and improving outcomes for mob across Australia. On the National Aboriginal Torres Strait Eye Health Conference for 2025, the first one led by the First Nations Eye Health Alliance. And I think what we saw this year with the takeover of community control of the organisation and acknowledging the amazing work that's been done by our allies in partnership over the last 9 years, is that this year the difference is we see the conference progressing to something that is more in line with how mob do business, and that's really special. And I think there's something exciting about watching how that will continue to grow over the coming years. It's really nice to still have our partners and our allies there side by side, but increasingly adding in that mob type vibe and incentive to how we do business is really special in this place. We're incredibly grateful for the amazing work that's come to this point, and we're so excited to keep moving forward together with our partners, but with that First Nations led focus. I think when I get asked about what allies can do to help the Alliance and help the continuation of the National Aboriginal Torres Strait Eye Health Conference, is to keep turning up. We need that support to see growth in this area, and we are only as much as our membership, and that is not just our First Nations members, but it's all our allies and support across the sector as well. So we need allies to keep turning up, keep being there for us, keep funding lines open so that we can continue to do the amazing work that we're doing in this space. And we've seen some really good advancement. We know that we've managed to halve the rate of preventable blindness in First Nations populations since the initial survey. And we're going to keep doing that work, and we're going to keep fighting that good fight. But just as we did this in the times before the Alliance has taken over as the peak body, we need that same level of support, but just with a First Nations-led focus. So we want you there with us. We want you walking beside us, and we need you to stay there. And please don't think now that this is a First Nations controlled space that you're not welcome. You're very welcome, and we appreciate everything that's come and everything that is to come.
Oh, by the way, I'll base you later.